Hello everyone, and welcome. Oh, my phone is totally in the shot. Hello everyone, and welcome to another Cosplay Storytime. Video 2K19. Like, comment, subscribe. Hashtag awesome. It's been a long day. I tried to vacuum my house. And this is not relevant to the story at all. But too bad, I'm still gonna talk about it. I tried to vacuum my house today, and everything was going great until the hardwood floor attacked. And apparently my vacuum does not like vacuuming hard floor. So it just started spitting out everything that had been sucked in. It just started spitting out everywhere. So I had all these balls of dust that I'd worked so hard to tame just being spat out all over the floor. It's been a long day. I'm very tired, but we're gonna tell a story because those are fun and we all enjoy those. Have I lost my mind? Maybe. Am I all over the place? Yes. Does my throat hurt and I still need tea, but I'm filming, so I'm not gonna get up and get tea? Absolutely. But, oh my gosh, where am I even going with this bit? I don't know. Anyway. Okay, this has just been a weird stream of consciousness. We're just gonna get into the video. I'm just gonna get into this video. Hello everyone and welcome to another Cosplay Storytime. I'm just gonna get down to it because otherwise I'm gonna keep rambling. It's gonna be weird. Then people are gonna complain in the comments being like, the video actually starts in 4 minutes 20 seconds. Hello everybody. This is a follow-up to my previous Cosplay Storytime that I did about how I embarrassed myself in front of a famous cosplayer. All of you are very smart and you figured out who that famous cosplayer was long before I mentioned who he was. So props to you guys. Also, all very much enjoyed that story. And a lot of you had similar experiences, which made me feel a lot better. It also made me realize that I have another experience previous to that particular one where I also embarrassed myself in front of a famous cosplayer. Luckily, he doesn't remember it, so that's great. But it still did happen, and I still was embarrassed nonetheless. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. I did actually talk about this story in one of my Fan Expo vlogs from years ago, because that's actually when it happened, and then it was the end of the day, and I was like, guess what, guys? I made a fool of myself in front of a famous cosplayer. Hey-o! A lot of you have probably not seen that video, so I think it's safe for me to make a whole video about this story. So without any further ado, let's just jump into it. So like I said, this happened at Fan Expo Vancouver a few years ago. It was actually my first year ever going to Fan Expo Vancouver, and it was an amazing weekend. The Saturday of the convention, my friend and I cosplayed casual versions of Tracer and d.va. This particular instance took place at the end of the day. So one cosplayer who we had kind of started chatting with during that weekend was Twin Fools, who is a local, very popular, very well-known Vancouver cosplayer. Most of you watching probably know who he is. He's great. At that point, he and I were Instagram mutuals, so he kind of knew who I was, and I totally know who he was. So we chatted, and we have like a mutual friend named Steph who was taking photos for the both of us. So we kind of like got to chat with him a little bit. So on the Friday when we were doing X-Men cosplays, we chatted with him, and then on the Saturday, my friend Madeline specifically actually started like chatting with him and hanging out with some of his friends. So that was super cool. So we go through like all of Saturday and we don't really see Madeline. My friend who's doing d.va, we pretty much just spend the whole day like hanging out, doing Overwatch stuff. It's cool. Like the previous day we had been hanging out with Madeline, and then throughout that day we didn't really see Madeline just because like our schedules didn't cross over. We get to the end of the day. I'm cosplaying Tracer. You already know that. I don't know why I said that again. So one thing with kind of more comic-oriented conventions versus anime conventions is that Comic-Cons have like a specified end time every single day. So they'll say on the program, on Saturday we're running from 10 till 7. So when 7 hits, they kick you out. You have to go. It's time to leave. Bye. We had such a great day that we just stayed there until like the very last minute. Like we wanted to get as much out of this day as possible. So basically what you have at the end of the day is like this huge sea of people like exiting the convention. And I'm pretty sure I have footage of that. Closing time of the convention hit, and it was just like this huge flood, sea, chaotic flow of people exiting the convention for the day into the Vancouver night. Very beautiful, very picturesque. So we're exiting the convention. It's this huge, chaotic mass of people that were caught up in the flow of, and I see Madeline. For some reason, I was like desperate to tell her something, ask her something, see her. I don't know. I guess since I hadn't seen her for the whole day, I was like eager to like get to chat with her, something like that. I can't really remember, but for some reason, like I really, like as soon as I saw her, I was like, I really need to talk to Madeline. I mean, she's a cool person, so I mean, everyone should feel that way always, but I was like really like, I gotta talk to Madeline. So we're walking out and I see her and I call out to her. I'm like, hey, Madeline, right? And she doesn't hear me. So I try again. I'm like, Madeline, like again, really loud. She doesn't hear me. And so I'm like, out of desperation, I do what my friend Sydney has since dubbed the beast call. And I'm like, Madeline! And at that point, she finally hears me and turns around. She comes over. She was walking with Lucas, aka Twin Fools, with his group of friends. So like she was at like the cool kids table, basically. And I was the crazy person yelling for her. So they just kind of started chatting and stuff towards the end of the con day. And we're hanging out and we're kind of getting to know each other. Like they didn't know each other super well, but they were like, hey, Madeline, chill. Like, let's hang out. And it was cool. Madeline's very chill and you should totally hang out with her. Everyone should, because she's again, very chill, very chill. 10 out of 10, thumbs up, good Yelp review for Madeline. So they're chilling out and they're just chatting, and then I do the beast call. And Lucas runs up to her, because I guess she was chatting with some other people towards kind of like the front of their little posse. He runs up and like grabs her by the shoulder and is like very concerned and is like, sorry, your name's Madeline, right? Because like, you know, obviously like at a convention, you don't necessarily know people's names right away. You just know them for the character that they're cosplaying. So super normal thing. And she's like, yeah. And he's like, I think there's a tracer screaming for you. And throughout this whole thing, he apparently looked really concerned. And also, as soon as I had done the call, one of their other friends, I guess, heard this and was like, okay, I'm outie. And just like left. So I guess it caused like quite the stir in their group. So Madeline relays all of this to me. I am mortified. I'm like, I just wanted to get your attention. I just wanted to chat with you. I haven't seen you all day. But instead, I ended up being like the screaming tracer. That was my legacy at that moment. My friend, Evelina, who is d.va, is hearing all of this and she's dying laughing. I'm mortified. And Madeline's like, yeah, they all thought you were pretty weird for that. And I was like, cool, great. Obviously, he didn't recognize that it was me as Tracer because it was a cosplay that I was just debuting that day. So, like, even if we, like, were Instagram mutuals, you know, he still didn't know that it was me. Just a beautiful storm of stuff. But, luckily, we all saw Lucas the next day. Again, he's friends with my friend Steph. We saw them in the convention. They were about to do a photo shoot, and so we went over to say hi to Steph, and we also said hi to Lucas, and we're all just very casually chatting together. Everything is fine, and then I'm like, hey, just wanted to, like, say sorry if I freaked you out last night. I was the Screaming Tracer. And he's super chill, and he's like, oh, I don't even remember Screaming Tracer. So whatever it was, I'm sure it was fine. And he explains that he was super out of it at the end of the day and doesn't really have much of a recollection of that evening towards the end of the convention. And I am like, I am saved. Aside from like the other people in that group who probably do have a recollection of that evening. I just wanted to say hi to my friend and she didn't hear me. And you know, desperate times, desperate measures, sometimes you just have to unleash the beast. So that was a fun little ditty about how I previously embarrassed myself in front of a cosplayer. It happens to everyone. It happens multiple times. Some of you guys had quite the list of experiences that you've had embarrassing yourselves in front of famous people and famous cosplayers. So you know what? None of us are alone. And it's fine. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. Really appreciate, as per usual. If you guys have any embarrassing experiences like this, obviously leave them in the comments. I know that probably most of you have already shared them, but you know, for those who haven't, feel free. If you haven't seen my previous story time, I will have it linked up there as well as in the end slate, which you guys can check out. Thank you guys so much for listening to my crazy, weird ramblings. I am a weird person. I'll see you guys all next time, but until then, Panda Faces, please be sure to take care. Bye. So classy!